Welcome in, everybody. Danville Dashers hockey here at the David S. Palmer Arena, downtown Danville, Illinois. The Danville Dashers taking on the Port Huron Prowlers in part 2 of the homestand, or the road trip from Port Huron. Last night, a very good game. Started off very clean. We were surprised at how quickly that first period went. And then things got a little bit chippy. And now, as the second game of the weekend, players getting a little bit more familiar with one another once again here in the second round of meetings between these two teams. Tired legs coming into play. We're going a little bit deeper into the season now. Some short-handed benches with both teams with injuries or missing players. It's going to be really interesting to see how this is. Nate Williamson here with you. I've got my cohort, Dennis Michelson, with me. Dennis, thoughts on last night's game and where we're moving towards tonight?
Well, we saw a great start to the game, really hard fought, and now we're seeing that the Prowlers will actually be back in their practice jerseys. We had heard that they might be wearing a different set of jerseys tonight, but it's the Fairfield Inn look again. But last night, the game started nice and clean, real good, aggressive but clean hockey, good end-to-end action. Then the referees started swallowing the whistles, and the players responded. If you're not going to call the chippy play, it's going to get chippier. And we did see things get a little bit out of control. And I think what we're going to see tonight is the referees learning from last night and taking more charge, because these are two very physical teams, two very well-matched teams. And I think we're going to see a really good, hard-fought game.
We might see some early penalty calls. I think it's safe to assume going into this game. It's going to be very interesting as we await the starting lineups here. Port Huron already out on the ice. Danville soon to follow. Starting for Danville tonight in goal, once again, Jesse Gordachuk at the left wing spot. Nick Gullo makes his way into the starting lineup. Christos Bermanis at the right wing. Nigel Slade at center. Alex Palmerville at left defense, and Ben Bukal at right defense. Fred Hine and Mitch Atkins both coming off the bench now. That's not to say anything about how they played or how their quality is.
No, that second line, talking to Coach before the game, that second line, he was really happy with the chemistry and the hustle from Slade and Bormanis and Gullo, so he's given them a chance to start, sort of a little reward. Was very happy with his first line as well, but that second line brought a lot of energy, and they're getting rewarded with the start tonight and getting announced in front of the very rowdy crowd here at the David S. Palmer Arena.
Yeah, that's a really very, very cool tradition that we do here. It's been that way since I can remember, the Dishman Inflatables Tunnel, as well as the Flames, which aren't out there tonight. Sometimes they don't have them out there. I don't know if it's an on-ice thing, but I'm not in charge of that, so I don't have to worry about it, thankfully. Either way, a really cool tradition to get. You hustle your butt off yesterday, get rewarded, get to come out here as part of the starting lineup, and get a little bit of extra applause while you're at it.
One player that was missing from last night's action that I think we're really going to be happy to see back tonight is Levi Armstrong, a fan favorite, but also one of those hustle guys, and also one of those guys that kind of is the enforcer that kind of keeps the peace. So I'm just glad to see him back in the lineup, and he'll bring a lot of energy when he's on the ice, as usual.
He is definitely not afraid to throw the fisticuffs, that's for sure.
Change in the net for the Port Huron Prowlers tonight, and that'll be interesting to see if they stick with their backup goalie if he struggles early in the going.
Yeah, you do have to wonder. Simons is listed down there. Paulin, I do believe Chris Paulin getting the nod tonight, though, as we await the national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled
words of Saturday Night Live, let's play that hockey.
Oh, man, this is going to be a good game tonight. Nate, I just have a feeling we are about to see a very exciting game here at the David S. Palmer Arena.
It's got a buzz around it. Well, we also want to make note of our Danville Township Youth Player Spotlight. It was Evgeny Anderson from the Junior Dashers. So right here locally again. He was out there earlier, and we also had our flag bearers for tonight. And we have a lot of great stuff coming up tonight. Tonight, obviously, ugly sweater night, and Port Huron also participating. Brought in special jerseys right for it. The Fairfield Inn sponsored sweaters.
Yeah, the first rumor was that they were switching jerseys tonight, and we were expecting a whole new set of numbers, so we're kind of glad to see the old practice uniforms used after all.
I definitely am, and in all fairness, I joke about that. Had to make a joke. These are some very nice looking practice jerseys. They look better than a lot of teams' regular jerseys, honestly.
Yeah, it's kind of a throwback to the old Detroit Red Wings look, so it's okay. I'll work on that.
Yeah, that'll work. Michigan, right?
We'd like to see some names on the back of the jerseys. That's the only thing we ask.
That was a quick pass all the way down the ice. Gets to Jesse Gordachuk and frozen. We're going to have a face-off. Just no way it was 7 seconds in, but nonetheless 7 seconds off the clock. Didn't seem like 7 seconds anyway. My timekeeping's quite off though, so not surprising. In the face-off circle here is Danville loses out to Port Huron. That one comes as far as Gordachuk and goes past him into the railing. Now behind it, Bukal has it. He's out to Gullo. Gullo unable to pick it up though, and that one's dumped back down. Oh, that was almost dangerous as Gordachuk was found out of his spot as well. Eventually it does get out. Nigel Slade runs with it. Slade goes hard into the boards. We saw him take a few hits last night. As the Dashers able to pick this one up. Port Huron not able to clear, almost dangerously bouncing past Port Huron's goaltender. Once again, Chris Paulin in tonight instead of Corey Simons. Danville with a little bit of built-up pressure here. Some nice stick work from Gullo keeps a hold of the puck, but then it's lost off the stick of Christos Bermanis as Port Huron regroups. Flipping it down the ice to the right of Jesse Gordachuk. He covers his right side, and Port Huron's going to get a shift change.
Getting some weird bounces off the boards tonight.
Yeah, and one was there. That pass all the way down past his own player there as Gordachuk looked to find Mitch Adkins, and Patrick Zylak on the link up on the distance pass, and instead finds an icing. It's going to come right back.
The puck has hit the back boards 3 times now and take 3 wicked hops out in front of Gordachuk.
Tied up, but played out with a foot there by Mitch Atkins. A good heads-up play. This one fought for along the boards now by both sides. Fred Hine tries to touch it up. Instead, Port Huron's going to get it. It jumps out right to Slade. Only thing is, he's in the bench, so no harm, no foul on that.
Kind of a slow, sluggish start to this one tonight.
Nick Gullo looked like he was going to keep that puck there on the bench, but instead he throws his souvenir back out to the referee. Score a goal, you might get to keep that, right?
That would be a good way to do it.
Atkins and Zolkanitz on the faceoff. Atkins win. We're going to have a delayed offside, it looks like. Unless it's a delayed, nope, delayed offside. I was going to say it shouldn't be a delayed penalty. That one fought for nicely there by Zolkanitz. Sends it all the way down to Brad Denny. Denny over to Logan Hawgood off the boards. Nicely done there. It gets as far as number 13, Joe Pace. Now coming the other way with it, Port Huron with a shot from the right side. Swallowed up quickly by Gordachuk.
After last night's action late in the game where Joe Pace took a Danville Dashers player down from behind, he's going to have to keep that head on a swivel tonight.
Well, a pretty dull first period, or a little bit of action here, actually, as we go. 18:09 left to go here in the first period. A Port Huron shot goes off the leg there of Logan Hawgood. Mitch Atkins puts a man into the boards there, and still recovered by Justin Portillo. This one gets as far as Barakov, who throws it out of the zone there.
Really no active offense by either side. There's just a lot of flipping the puck in and chasing it. Not really any organized attack started out yet. 17:50 left in the first period.
We had a delayed offside there, become an offside, so we're going to come down to the left of Chris Pollan, to the right of Jesse Gordichuk. Port Huron going left to right across your television dial. Oh wait, that's not the saying. And bodies hit the floor, but don't think there was anything malicious about that one. Murray flings it down behind Pollan. It's touched up there by Brian Parsons and sent all the way down. Gonna have to chase it is Enser. Seth Enser and Troy Murray out there, the defensive pairing for the Dashers, and that one's turned over in an ugly way, and almost a nice play there by Justin Portillo off the redirect from the stick of his fellow attacker. Coming out now, Patrick Zylak throws it off.
Really no attempts to make crisp passes at all from either side so far.
A lot of turnovers. EJ Tesserero with the first probably distance completed pass.
And then two Dashers run into each other.
And this has looked sloppy so far. Port Huron with the majority of the possession, the majority of the attacking chances. Oh my, that had to not feel good. As that was Troy Murray putting himself into the boards there.
Oh,
and Danville's going to have a run here if Slade can get to it first. Icing waved off as Slade does get to it. Instead, it's going to come out a huge hit there into the boards, and it drew blood.
Yep, he's shaken up, and
that's Christos Bormanis. Nothing on the play. That drew blood.
And lost a stick, lost a glove.
And if we're going to head down that path this early, that's a dangerous territory. Alex Palmerville grabs this one over to Bukal. Back to Palmerville. Atkins tips it in. Barakov going to get to it first. A nice defensive play there by Matt Stoya to make sure he doesn't. Palmerville on it over to Bukal. Bukal loses it, doesn't keep it inside the blue line. Almost did, but not quite. Instead, he's going to elect to backpedal here and get it off the boards to Palmerville, who slings it through. That was an odd redirect there from Barakov. Hines going to end up on it.
On that play with Bormanis, I don't think it was malicious, but when a stick comes up into the face, it usually gets a call.
It usually does, and usually a double minor as well for your money if you get the blood. But yeah, I agree, nothing malicious about that one just yet. Atkins on it now with a nice move to get himself some room. Instead, Port Huron's going to run the other way. A nice heads-up play there by Danville, keeps the numbers even. Port Huron tries a little juggle there. Actually, that was Fred Hine.
It's almost a little game of hecky sack broke out.
Austin Federley and Fred Hine trying to play a little.
They were using the sticks instead of the feet, but it was a little hecky sack action with the puck there.
That's a little less dangerous than using your feet with those skates on the bottom of them, I'd say.
Crazy start to the game here. Neither side taking control of the action.
15:22 left to go here in the first period. Danville coming down the right wing. That's a shot from the right wing. Paulin up to the task. That one goes harmlessly off the backboards. It's kept in by Danville.
That was the first thing that looked like a rush down the ice, though.
Mm-hmm. It's been roughly slow, almost, to say. That one thrown all the way down the ice. It's going to come to Danville first. Icing waved off, though. Must have been tipped up. On and out, Patrick Zylak. Port Huron with an opportunity, a shot off the right pad there of Jesse Gordichuk with a shoulder block. A nice play there as Danville able to get this one out of the zone. On that one was Logan Hawgood. Actually, Sam Turner out there for the Dashers. Had a nice game last night.
Great to see Sam back.
A hand injury very early on in the season, and I mean very early on. That one unable to be touched up by the Dashers off the rebound. A blind shot there as Jesse Gordichuk with the quick reactions to get that shoulder pad up and make the save out of bounds.
If I recall the story on Sam Turner's injury, it happened in one of the last practices before the first game of the season. This team was really snake bit with injuries, but starting to get everybody back. In fact, less traffic up the skybox stairs tonight, which was a good sign.
Port Huron behind net. A backhanded pass goes as far as Gordichuk's right blocker. Knocked out there, gonna try and fight for it is Bormanis. Good to see him back out on the ice. Gullo on it now. Gullo still on it now. A nice stick work to keep hold of that one. It's out to Murray, to Gullo.
Love watching his hustle.
Gullo goes past Zolkanitz. Back to Gullo
Nice
in front of Paulin.
go.
And in soccer, we'd call that a tiki-taka, but nothing on the other end of it as that one swallowed up harmlessly by Paulin.
Yeah, Paulin was not fooled on that play at all, but that was a nice little give and go, little two-man game on the far side of the ice there.
Mitch Atkins on it for Danville here on the face-off. He loses out to number 51, Matt Graham. Graham had a good game last night as well for these Prowlers. Now coming on the other end of it, number 29, David Nippert. Nippert very fast on his skates. And this one's going to be corralled by Graham. Played along the boards, past the stick of Bukal, slotted out dangerously in front of the net there. Port Huron linking some nice passes together now. Big hit laid there by Bormanis. Actually, Alex Palmerville behind there. Palmerville still laying a hit there as Danville can run with this one if they do it fast. Coming down the right way, Barakov to Atkins, over to Hine. Fred Hine with a slap shot. That was up and out, to say the least. It was definitely a shot, but if you can't even probably see the banners that hit in the camera shot, if you did, we'd be all the way zoomed out, and that's not very helpful.
Yeah, I think the PA announcer was getting a little bit worried there. That one hit pretty high up.
We were talking to the Port Huron broadcasters last night about how pucks sometimes get up there. A Danville goal out of nothing. That one's past Chris Paulin and in.
Just threw that puck towards the front of the net, and before you know it, it found its way behind Paulin, and it's 1-0 Dashers.
And that came basically out of nowhere in the long run. Port Huron having the majority of the puck possession so far, and definitely the majority of the chances, but it doesn't matter. You get the puck in the net, and now you're in control here with 13:05.
Mitch Atkins was in front of the net, and I wonder if he got a little bit of a piece of that one to redirect it.
Wouldn't surprise me.
But it was just a puck that was thrown in front of the net from the point, not really a lot on it, but
Fred Hine brought the puck back, so I would assume that would be Mitch Atkins because he's sitting next to Mitch. Tesserero on this one, a long shot there as he does throw it down to the right of Paulin. Palmerville ends up with the goal in that. Fred Hine on the assist, and Mitch Atkins also on the assist.
Yeah, well, Palmerville was the one who threw it towards the net, so apparently it did not find another stick. But boy, that was a crazy little flip shot. There was a lot of traffic in front of the net.
Looked like it just might have gone through the 5-hole, actually.
That's exactly what it did. It just was hipping and hopping its way there, and I wasn't sure if it was redirected or not.
Maybe that Fred Hine shot was just a purposeful misdirect. Get him looking high and then send it low. Port Huron now looking to strike back. Playing through here to the left side. A beautiful move there and a wraparound on the way. Instead, it goes to Zalak. Zalak gonna have to get rid of that one. He does.
Nice pass.
Right over to Brad Denny. Denny tries to put one in front of goal there. Trying to link up with Levi Armstrong back tonight and almost does.
Great idea. Good execution too. Just missed.
Just a little bit too far for the outstretched arm of Levi Armstrong.
But all of a sudden, the Dashers starting to get these passes to connect, and here we go again.
And here they are on the run through Levi Armstrong on the right. He's going to have a shot here. It's off Paulin's right blocker into the glass and all the way back around the boards. It's picked up by Murray.
Good read on Murray there, prevented.
Oh, a bad pass there to Dalton Jay, ended up with it for a second.
Look who's there.
Oh, nice interception there. On the other side of that was Matt Stoya. He's already being mentioned a lot on the defensive end. We will see him go forward, too, a little bit. He kind of plays that combo role.
Love the way Slade plays this game. He's good job of coming back and helping his defense out when they need help.
Oh, an errant pass there. Gullo's going to have a chance. A nice backhanded pass. Beautifully done, and Danville keeps control of it. That one almost redirected in there. Danville open net. Can't get anything on it. Productive. Almost having it, Nigel Slade instead. It's going to be number 21, Austin Federley, that was coming the other way with it. He gets a shift change, and that one's dumped all the way to Jesse Gordichuk. Looks like he's going to freeze this one instead of risking giving that one up to Hatham Oid.
Both teams looked like they were sleepwalking through the first 3 minutes. All of a sudden, the Dashers' pregame coffee kicked in, and they've been on the attack ever since. Not getting a lot of hard shots on goal, but throwing that puck at the net, and good things happen.
Face-off frozen here by the referee.
The old adage by the great one, Wayne Gretzky, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. And
that's true.
The Dashers just throwing that puck at the goalie and hoping for good things, and they've already had one good thing happen.
Oh, some nice offensive buildup there from Port Huron. Jesse Gordatuk does just enough. Fred Hine hits the ground, and so does number 71 for Port Huron. That on the ground there was Justin Portillo. Both of them are up. Looked like skates got tangled up.
And no real advantage for either player, so that was a good no call on that sequence there.
Yeah, just kind of unlucky. And it was 2 forwards also, so that helps. Danville wins this face-off. They're looking to play fast. Instead, it's turned over, flipped up in the air.
Fair catch.
Yeah, fair catch. That would have been a fumble. Trying to scoop that one up was Justin Portillo. Instead, finds the ice and finds its way down the ice.
Seen some weird bounces of the puck tonight.
That had the potential there, but a nice stretch pass, no good. Left side shot. Ooh. Fred Hine onto Chris Paulin. Paulin drops it for a minute, but ends up freezing it behind him.
I thought he had him beat again.
He had open net there down the left side and some quick build-up play that once again just seemingly came out of nowhere in the end.
Dashers are doing a good job once they're getting control of the puck of quickly turning it around into an offensive chance.
Palmerville on the point. Palmerville throws one in. It doesn't make it as far as Paulin. Instead, blocked up.
Slade being given the old 1-2. 2 different Prowlers beating on him in the corner trying to get the puck. Good aggressive play.
Played nicely with a level stick there to avoid the high stick as Palmerville had that one down by his waist. Bukal a little bit too hard there for Slade, and instead Port Huron going to run with it here down the right side. A shot from Matt Graham is wide to the right, more of a drop-off than anything. And that one comes out to Christos Bormanis. Gullo fighting for it. It's along the boards. Out in the middle of nowhere. Would have been dangerous, but no one home there for Danville. Palmerville on it now. Port Huron needs to get a shift change out. Danville going to be the ones that do it first. As coming down the ice here, number 24, Matt Stoya. We said we'd see him get forward, and he does so. A nice stick deke has him open. Out to the point, a shot from the point. That one almost dangerous there as it was almost redirected. Instead, Danville going to look to run with it through Zalak.
Oh, offside.
Yes, it'll be an offside. We saw that one with the hand immediately raised, and we'll bring that one back.
I think that was Levi that got, no, that wasn't Levi. That was
Levi and Tesserero were both out there. I think
Tesserero got caught offside there.
AJ with a little bit quick. He's just excited. As we get the first media timeout, 9:25 left to go here in the first period. The Dashers up, but it doesn't feel like it here. It really doesn't.
It's been a weird start to this game. It hasn't been a lot of flow to the offense for either side. Dashers had a little bit of about a 3 or 4 minute period there where they just really, everything was clicking, and now we've gone back to what we were at the beginning of the game where everybody's just kind of missing the passes. So a little sluggish on both offensive ends, but the chances that have been there have gone in the favor of the Dashers so far, and they're up 1-0.
It can be really tough when you kind of come into a night, you know, you're tired from last night, and the crowd is actually bigger tonight than last night, but even when that goal came up, there was a good amount of noise. Don't get me wrong, I'm not going to sell the fans short here, but it came out of nowhere, so you really don't have the preparation to get ready for it.
It was a surprise goal, so nobody was really like, I think they were shocked when the goal ended up in the back of the net.
Yeah, it was kind of just out of nowhere in the long run, but sometimes that's how the puck drops.
And again, no penalties for the first half of this first period.
Yeah, fast again. Zylak going to get on the end of this one. Tries to fire one onto Paul and backhanded. Armstrong with a big hit onto the boards. This one is shot like a rocket down the ice. It's going to come back for an icing as Brad Denny touches it up.
Ladies, it's that time again. You're gearing up for a
Again, no effort at all to try to connect on a pass, just golfing it down the ice. Looked like one of my golf shots, too. I think it found the bunker.
I would say 1 out of every 2 of mine do. So if I can even hit it that far, I might need to take a mulligan.
Or they get wet.
I can hit a golf ball farther than I can hit a hockey puck, that's for sure. Although I haven't really tried, so I guess I don't know. Ooh, Port Huron might have a chance off of this one. A favorable bounce ends up finding 92. Dalton J. Gordachuk almost taken out. Does a nice job getting over the sliding Zachary Zolkanitz. Gordachuk with an acrobatic play there to get out of the way.
It was the Prowler player kind of had a little blowout there, missing an edge. And
he got tripped up in the skates there with the Dasher defenseman. Upon looking at the replay of that here on our screen, kind of just got a little bit stick-tied, a little foot loose, pun fully intended.
And fancy free.
Yes. Oh, a bad turnover there. Is Port Huron going to have a chance to run with it? Instead, it's turned over by Dalton J. Recollected, though, by Port Huron. Fred Hine with a nice stick there to stop the run of Austin Federley. This one thrown all the way down in front of Gordachuk, and Gordachuk going to freeze it.
Should be an icing, though.
Yeah, I think it is actually going to be called an icing. Well,
there's a little debate whether it's going to be an icing or not.
It was very late, and Gordachuk did freeze it, but...
Well, he froze it after it hit the back line, so it should be an icing.
As an icing. It does indeed come back as an icing.
The lineman on this side of the ice had made his call. Little confusion.
Joe Pace Jr. addresses the troops in front of his own bench there.
I think he was bringing the news to the coach on what exactly was called there.
He is the coach, Dennis.
There you go.
No, he is.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
So is Matt Graham.
Wow, I did not know
I'm
that.
dropping truth bombs to you. Out in front here, big chance. A nice save, Paulin. He spreads out to get the second one.
So coach was telling his fellow players,
right,
is what you're getting at.
Looked like a calm down message. That kind of just looked like it. Something's got the crowd in a frenzy. I don't know what it was. Tesserero and Pace getting a little tied up there. That one comes behind the net there. Dangerous play by Paul, and Tesserero going to end up with it. A backhand right into Paulin off his blockers. Hustle plays here paying off for Danville. Tesserero on it now. Looking for Bormanis. It's sticked up by Paulin.
Good job of chipping it out in front of the net there.
Port Huron almost had a chance to run with that. Instead, it's going to be wide open here for Bormanis. Bormanis with Slade to his left. Bormanis, Paulin, a heck of a double save there with the arm and the foot.
Didn't really get a lot on that shot, but it was a troublesome one.
Yeah, no kidding. It got a little bit more than that last shot did, even so. That was a pop fly, a little redirect. Played backwards along the boards there by Alex Palmerville. Danville with it now. Nick Gullo running with it. He's got open ice. He intends to take it. Bormanis behind him. Gullo with a shot to the left side of Chris Paulin. Nicely covered up there with the glove.
Paulin getting a lot of work.
He's getting a lot of work, yeah. And other than the goal that, you know, in all kinds of likelihood, didn't really have too much of a chance at unless it went through his legs and he watched it go, which I don't think that was quite the case. He's done a pretty good job tonight with some, especially on the breakaway. The Dashers, the few breakaway chances that they've had, they're a good team on the break and a fast team on the break. So some good saves tonight so far for Paulin. I think Gordachuk's highlight play so far is jumping over Zolkanitz.
That was a pretty good play.
Another nice save from Paulin, as if on cue off the Seth Ensor shot.
Almost gave up a rebound on that one. He was fighting that one off.
Barakov trying to jump on that rebound. He'd like to slot one away, that's for sure.
We're down to 7:04 here in the first.
One out to the point there. Ensor with a shot, almost redirected in. Nicely done by Chris Paulin. Singing the praises of the Paulin right now. Port Huron coming the other way with it. It's a 2-on-1. A shot from the right side, covered up nicely. Jesse Gordachuk, and just when you kind of make fun of the lack of highlight play, there's one on the break.
Dashers defense did a good job of kind of cutting down the angle so there was no pass available. All he could do was take the shot, and Gordachuk right there to make the stop.
Port Huron plays this out to the point. A shot from the point off the left blocker of Jesse Gordachuk. Played back along the boards here. On it now, number 51. That's Matt Graham on it. I just looked at the wrong sheet.
Oh, look out. The puck just found its way in through the corner there. I don't know if they're going to allow this one or not.
All indication looks like they are. About 3 Port Huron players in front of Jesse Gordachuk's blue zone.
They were just slapping that puck against the post, and it found a way, trickled in between the post and the left leg.
It's not pretty, but it worked. Just like that first goal.
Been a weird first period.
We might need to bring the Zamboni back out here because this ice is bouncing like, I don't even know. I've never seen anything like this before. Hawgood on and out, dumps it up to Turner. Turner plays it through. A nice pass there, ends up coming off the shin of Tesserero. Played back here by Port Huron, going up the left side. Almost with a break there, Matt Robertson. Instead, Brad Denny collects. Hawgood behind it now, off the boards to Zalak.
I'm going to blame the weird play on climate change.
Yep. That's the only logical denominator.
The bailout for everything.
Yep. And Danville going to look to run here. Even numbers, 3-on-3 coming down. This one going to be picked up by Zalak. A solid body hit there, but still a nice defensive play. And it looked like that was Alexander Strack had the stick there.
Dashers got to change while all that was going on.
Yeah. All's well that ends well. Take my stick and my guys will get on the ice. Oh, a fortunate bounce there. Zalak on it now. Zalak tries to throw it across. Probably should have just had the shot. That was an obvious trip. No call. Now a late call.
Now a late call, yep.
Very, very late call. It was an obvious trip. I'll give him that.
Yeah.
Maybe trying to play the advantage there.
That was definitely a trip, but
yeah, it was a little bit of frustration there, it looked like.
Thought they were going to get away with that one.
I did too, and after last night, I wouldn't have been surprised to see it. Looks like Danville's going to go to the Serve Pro penalty kill here.
Big potential switch of momentum in this game now, with 5:27 left in the first.
If for some reason you're listening to this and you're wearing an ugly sweater, now's the time to go down to the front there across from us at the bottom of section 1. You could win prizes, trust me. Diane likes giving out prizes, so she gives out some good prizes.
There will be some good prizes tonight. There are some good ugly sweaters in this crowd.
There are. Well,
I just hope that nobody's grandmother made the sweater for them and it's now deemed an ugly sweater. That would really be rude.
Sweater. That would be sad.
That's sad.
That would be sad. Dennis, why you gotta make me sad?
You could see Grandma seeing it, seeing this all over the place, and all of a sudden, ugly.
Port Huron with a big face-off win there. An ugly sweater type of face-off from the Dashers on that one.
Whoops.
A blown shot there. Ooh, a nice hand-eye there, Matt Stoya. Kept that one in the zone. Nice hand-eye there,
Good
Nick Gullo. Gullo fighting for that one and rewarded because of it. Ends up getting it out of the zone. The Dashers going to try and get a quick shift change off. Gullo elects to stay on and redirects another pass. Mitch Atkins does just enough there on Zolkanitz to make this one held up. All the way down the other side of the ice. Fred Hine wanted that one to be a little bit closer to the ground, so we could have ran with it.
Not only has the play been sluggish tonight, but this crowd is kind of sluggish tonight.
Yeah, it's been a little quiet. That was a bad pass there from Port Huron. Danville able to recover. Instead, Federley passes it out and going to run with it. Port Huron on the right side.
And they turn it over.
Another sloppy pass there. Palmerville trying to link up with Hine.
Down to a minute in the power play.
All the way back to Paulin. Paulin rightfully way out of his net there. Hine across the very edge of the blue zone. And man, Paulin was slow to play that one, wasn't he?
Yeah, and he made himself a big target there behind his own net. He's free game.
You're lucky you get a nicer guy like Fred Hine back there. Some of these guys wouldn't have held back.
Nope, he took the puck instead of taking the player out, but he could have taken the goaltender out as well.
As Port Huron with a chance now. A shot from the side.
Oh, good
safe.
stop.
God, stop there from Jesse Gordichuk.
Weird bounce again off the sideboards.
And another weird bounce. Christos Borman is fighting for this one with Matt Graham.
And a
Actually,
little
Matt Stoya.
grab of the stick there after that play.
These numbers, man. Port Huron, somebody get your trainer to remember your jerseys, please.
Could have FedExed them, you know, here. You know.
Overnight, USPS priority mail.
Would have been a
Michigan's
good
not that
idea.
far away.
They could have driven them down last night.
Good thing you have warm-up jerseys. If that happened to us, we would be in trouble. Port Huron playing down the left side, power play out now for Port Huron, and then almost another dangerous chance there. Instead, it's sought out by the Dashers, trying to play this one along the boards. They end up getting it out, and they're going to have a break in numbers here if they move fast. Turner on it with the left side across the all the way over to Barakov. Barakov to the point. A shot from the point, kind of a wobbler of a shot.
Good hard hit.
Turner puts a man into the boards. Danville trying to get anything out of this one. That looked like it came off the face of Paulin. We're getting a little bit more physical here. The Dashers player, I think that's Sam Turner, finds his way to the ground and ends up with the puck in front of net.
Oh, big stop.
Paulin doing everything he can to stop these shots. Rebound out here in front of the net now. Port Huron with it. Tries to find a link-up pass here to number 44. Running with it there, Alexander Grigorich.
Delayed offside here against the Prowlers. They'll have to retreat.
Pass as well.
Still a delayed offside. They never fully got out of the zone.
And now they whistled for the offside, even though
puck should come way over here.
Port Huron actually never even touching that one, but
they made no effort to get out of the zone, and then the puck just kind of hit them, so it'll come all the way down.
Yeah, that is
into the offensive end for the Dashers. That was a weird play. I think I figured out what's wrong with the crowd tonight. We just need more cowbell.
More cowbell.
It's just not enough cowbell being used around here. That's what it is.
Oh my, a huge hit into the boards, a backbreaker there on Alex Palmerville. Laying the boom there, number 17, Hatham Oyed.
Palms.
Oh, nice stick
fast
there, Nigel Slade. He drops that
nice
one back.
play.
Gullo on it now from the left. Oh, shot's too high there over Paulin. Played back, the Dashers hang on to it. Back to Gullo. Gullo fans on one there. A nice defensive play there from Port Huron. Now coming with it, number 17, Hatham Oyed. Plays kind of a combo role here for Port Huron. Can play both directions. And brought back over here by Port Huron as they try and get it out of the middle zone.
Oh, a little payback time.
Palmerville responds with a big hit of his own.
Ooh.
That one on number 44, Alexander Grigorich, who has words with the Dasher bench.
I don't think he was too happy that he got checked into some sticks.
No, his stick, in exchange, his stick was in the Dasher bench, funny enough.
Yeah, there was a little bit of stuff going back and forth there.
We thought we might see a little bit of it. Now, how much of it, we'll see.
Now, with the score tied 1-1, we're not going to see any dumb penalties being taken by either side.
Not on purpose,
One
anyway.
would hope, anyway.
Not on purpose. 1:31 left here in the first period. The only penalty going on a pretty obvious hooking penalty there for Port Huron getting a power play, unable to capitalize on it. And we have a face-off here. It's Atkins against Sokanitz. Atkins wins out. Hawgood grabs it.
And neither one of the goals scored tonight will go into the highlight reels for either team.
Certainly not. A couple good saves, but certainly no great offensive work here so far. I think we're in for a treat, though, in the long run. Fred Hine with it now. Fred Hine, a long shot. That one scooped up nicely there by Chris Paulin into the glove.
Few of these long shots that the Dashers have been making, instead of grabbing it out of the air with his glove, he's been kind of using that blocker and giving up a rebound. I think that's what Fred was hoping there.
Hawgood from the point. That one didn't have a chance of making it there, as in the way was a man from both sides.
Yeah, he had two behinds to hit with that shot.
Oh, a long stretch pass there finds Barakov. Barakov on it now over to Hine. Hine across the slot.
Beautiful play.
Oh, just can't get any elevation on the shot, and Paulin had every right for that one. Easily covers that. Atkins unable to get his stick underneath that puck just enough.
Beautiful pass by Fred Hine, though. He had the option to take the shot or make the real strategic pass. Made the pass, had the wide open net, but Atkins just couldn't elevate. Paulin did a good job going side by side on that one.
Port Huron playing it out now. This one's going to come as far as number 51, Matt Graham. Graham tries to connect a pass there to Matt Stoya. Oh, almost ekes out of the zone. Instead, Port Huron with a nice play to keep it in. Palmerville exchanges a nice play to get it out.
30 seconds.
Skating with it here. That one's all the way back around to Paulin again. Paulin, a little bit of another dangerous play. This one instead going to come all the way back to Alex Palmerville.
And
Fans on one.
Puck's on edge.
Kind of loses his footing there as well.
And
a couple guys on the ground here. A couple sticks on the ground too. That one dumped pretty harmlessly as we're down to 5 seconds left on the clock. Bukal fighting in front of net, and that might almost in there.
Just wide.
Another chance for Tesserero.
Wow.
Tesserero had a wide open net there in the last second and a half. Probably shocked to find himself in that situation.
Very surprised to find that puck right on his stick in front of the net. Didn't quite get all of it and just slid it a little wide of that far post.
Plenty of offense in this one, just not a lot of goals.
Crazy first period of hockey here at the David S. Palmer Arena. Both teams kind of coming out a little sluggish. And they'll go into the first break here tied.
It's definitely been an interesting game so far. A lot of odd goals out of the two. I would say they both classify as odd in the normal tense anyway.
Very peculiar start to this game and a very subdued crowd as a result.
Yeah, there's not been a whole lot. A couple hits and nothing real too crazy to get out there. I have a feeling it's not going to stay that way.
We're going to see a lot more action here in the second period. I think both teams just kind of feeling each other out. Also, I think kind of curious to see how the referees were going to call this one. And the referees are letting them play again tonight. So I think in the second period, you're going to see both teams come out a little bit more aggressive. One thing the coach did say before the game is he wanted to see his guys finish their hits a little bit more, finish their checks, and they're doing that tonight. I will give them that. There's some pretty good hard hits when they're finishing off a play in the corner, but just both teams seem to just be a little off on hitting the passes. And early in that first period, both teams just were content to play the dump and chase game instead of trying to get plays going in the center ice.
Yeah, nothing really too concrete just yet in terms of offensive opportunity, but wouldn't think it would stay that way knowing these two teams.
Looks like we got the parade of the ugly sweaters about to happen. That we need to.
Does, but we can't get the intermission underway. Zach Solkanitz has yet to leave his bench.
Not really sure what that's all about either.
Well, I'm not really sure either. He seems a little on edge, and as such, the clock hasn't even started yet for the intermission, so you know it's not going to roll until you're off the ice.
Well, we had a crazy first period, so it's kind of fitting to have a crazy start to the first break.
Yeah, I guess something weird had to happen here tonight. Maybe it's a full moon, but I'm pretty confident the last full moon already happened for this year, so I'm assuming not. Looks like we're going to have the ugly sweater contest here. Just as a reminder, it's that time again, basically. We're gearing up for the 5th annual Hockey in Heels. This is a fun evening now, I will admit. You get to spend it with the players, you learn about hockey, you get to know the players, sample some wine, that's probably my favorite part. Gifts and get an exclusive photo opportunity as well with the players. Hockey in Heels is January 7th. You can purchase your tickets at the merchandise stand or call 217-213-8939 and we'll get you fixed up right away. That's always a lot of fun, a very, very heavily attended event. And you know, this year is going to be no different. I'm sure of that.
We got some good contenders here for the ugly sweater contest.
Yeah, we definitely do. I'm impressed. And I expected no less. I mean, anytime we have a theme night here, you're always impressed with what comes rolling out. early favorites.
I don't know, this lady that comes complete with the Santa hat is looking pretty sharp.
Dash is enjoying his time out on the ice. Let's see if he does a full body slide across the ice.
I was kind of expecting Dash to have a rather unique sweater on tonight.
He makes up for it with his personality, I would say that. I like the hat. I like the big hat.
The big oversized hat with the Santa on the front of the sweater, that's, I think, going to be my contender here.
I have a sneaking suspicion the guy that has the Port Huron jersey with the ugly sweater, that's what's written on the tape on his sweater, is going to have a solid chance at this one as well.
There's some good contenders here. They brought their game tonight. Didn't bring enough cowbell in the crowd, but they definitely brought the sweater
If this game starts to open up, we may see a little bit more cowbell down the stretch. We'll find out.
Aren't you supposed to be down on the ice with your outfit tonight?
I don't think I'm allowed to win these sorts of things.
All right. Well, I think you'd be a contender if you're down there.
I think so. Looks like we might have our finalists. Well, we're going to take a break here. I think it's safe to say we could use it. We got a wild second and third period coming up. That much seems to be for sure.
Hey, a little cowbell right on cue.
Right on cue. We need more sitting right next to us here. Well, we're going to take a break. We will be back in just a little bit for the second period here in Danville at the David S. Palmer Arena. Well, as the players make their way out onto the ice here at the David S. Palmer Arena, we're back. How's it going, everybody? Nate Williamson here with Dennis Michelson. Now, Dennis, going into the second period here in about 15 seconds. And Port Huron taking the ice now. You know, my intro to this is kind of a summary of how this game has gone. It's almost been, I don't want to discredit any hustle, but it's almost been lackadaisical.
It's been a very weird start to this game. Not a lot of energy from either club to start the game. First 5 minutes or so, it was like everybody was waiting for the first big thing to happen. We sort of saw some offense build as the game went on there in the first period, but the best of the chances came up empty, and the two goals were about the sloppiest, sort of weird goals that you'll ever see. So it was a very strange first period, and I have a feeling we're going to see a little more action here in the second.
Well, just taking a brief look at the chat. Merry Christmas, Robert, and Merry Christmas to everyone in the chat. Kind of crazy. It's almost Christmas time. Feels like it was April just a few months ago. I guess technically it was, but happy to be in the holiday season and happy to get to spend part of that season with you guys here at the David S. Palmer Arena. Without further ado, we're going to get underway here in the second. Puck drop one by the Dashers, and that bounce, almost a summary of the kinds of bounces we saw earlier. And that pass, almost a summary of what we saw earlier. A lot of sloppy play, a lot of errant passes, but hopefully it'll be cleaned up this period. I wouldn't doubt it. Fought for along the boards here.
Big scrum.
Love that word. Big rugby fan myself, so that word floats well with me here.
Full rugby or the sevens?
Both.
Oh, very good.
Especially sevens, because it's the only time the United States has a chance at winning. Anyway, we'll leave that out of context. Coming back down the ice, Port Huron.
Well, they're convenient.
Oh, a nice pass to the middle. Gordichuk has to step up.
Pucks just came up off of his stick real high, too.
That one played with a hand pass. Deemed legal, though. Port Huron puts in a rebound here.
Gave up a sloppy rebound again in front of the net, and Port Huron tucks it in.
And that definitely came off of a hand pass, but sometimes you get away with those in the heat of things, especially when you're being flustered coming around the goal. Well, last night it was Danville breaking the deadlock to go up 2-1. They then went on to go up 3-1 before Port Huron scored 3 in a row to take the win in overtime. We're on that track right now tonight, just the flip side of the story so far. Be pretty impressed if we saw it happen exactly the same way, but we're hoping that nothing gets out of control here, first and foremost.
Puck bouncing around again in the corner.
Worth mentioning, the pass that opened up that goal there for Port Huron was beautifully done. Danville with a little bit of momentum here as they swing in, trying to force anything through they can. We're going to have a penalty here on Port Huron as stick knocked out of the hand, and what do you know? Joe Pace Jr. going to the penalty box. 1 point in 2013 and 2014 was the league's leading penalty minute getter.
Yeah, I think they had reservations for him tonight over there.
Yeah. And, you know, there's quite a few people still here, around here, especially fans that really do like Joe Pace still as well. He spent a lot of time here, and as such, gets a good greeting over there from the kids at the penalty box. And always happy to interact with the kids, too, should be noted.
Kids do enjoy coming down and giving little fist bumps to the guys in the penalty box.
That's part of the best thing about local hockey as well. It's you get the opportunity. Hine with a nice puck carry behind here. It's going to come all the way out to Benny Bukal. Bukal to Hine. Hine might have a shot here instead elects to pass. That's in front, coming out to the point, and it's knocked out here on the Jenna Worth power play. Jenna Worth, your State Farm agent, licensed to serve in Illinois and Indiana. You can get a hold of her at 217-442-4698.
Where customer service always comes standard.
Ben Bukal coming around here to Alex Palmerville.
Seem to hear that a lot for some reason.
You do. Our write-up actually is different than the one we have at the radio station, though, funny enough. I don't ever read our write-up, but it is a little bit different. Remember from last year. The big hit there along the boards. Port Huron doing a great job on this penalty kill so far. 50 seconds left to go in that. Gordichuk gets the troops recollected. Alex Palmerville comes behind the net. Out there is Slade, and along with Bormanis, and Brad Denny also out there.
That was a weird pass that hit the boards in a weird way.
It's not going well. Tesserero out there, but he's not going to chase that one down. And this one's going to be floated down again behind the net.
And we're down to 25 seconds.
Well executed penalty kill here from Port Huron. Bormanis with it now. Bormanis with the first shot of the penalty kill that gets knocked up there by Brian Parsons and goes out of play.
Port Huron does have one of the best percentages on the PK in the league this year, so no surprise to see them playing so well. And when I asked Coach about do they do anything special, he says nope, they're just very, very aggressive.
Slade able to eke that one out to Brad Denny. Over to Bormanis. Bormanis on the point, a shot that's just wide of the net there. Kept in and slotted over to Bormanis again. Instead, Port Huron going to end up with it. Two Dashers collide on the boards. Tesserero got the bad end of that one. And the Port Huron penalty kill does a great job, and the penalty expires as Joe Pace comes back out of the ice dangerously out in front of net. A nice hustle play there from number 27. That was Alexander Strack knocking that one out of any dangerous way. Shot from the right. That was a tight angle and a hard shot. Another attempt. Goal! Patrick Zalak on the double rebound. Chris Paulin unable to contain it. And we are tied here at the David S. Palmer Arena.
Zalak got a lot of shellac on that one and sent it flying into the back of the net. That was a really outstanding play. He was just kind of hanging out by the circle and just saw that play developing and got himself into a great position. And when that puck just sort of found his stick, the next location it found was the back of the net.
Wasn't really sure if anything was going to come out of that. It was kind of an awkward angle in general with a couple of rebounds. What do you know? There's a goal, and now we're coming back down the other way again. Barakov on it now. Barakov tries to pick out Hine. Instead, a soccer pass there off of the foot of Logan Hawgood, and Port Huron's coming the other way with numbers. Hawgood does just enough to disrupt that one. Instead, across, back again, almost finds the streaking 71 Justin Portillo. Portillo on it now. He is disarmed there by Hawgood.
Lineman sort of half-heartedly raised his hand and then took it back down. They almost gave him a delayed offside there.
Atkins over to the side, a shot. That was Fred Hine on that one. A big hit on self there from Mitch Atkins.
Paulin didn't look too confident on that save, just kind of fought it off all the way.
And Danville going to dump this one down, get a shift change. Fred Hine still almost going to get to that one. Instead, it's going to come all the way. A nice move there from Troy Murray out there with Seth Ensor. Danville coming the other way. They're going to have a chance. Fred Hine over to Slade. Slade fires wide. On maybe the best chance of the night.
Had that net wide open.
A nice pass there. The second very nice pass from Fred Hine tonight. Shot from the right side of Gordichuk. No worry there.
Turned it over right to the Prowlers.
Very, very active sticks from Port Huron. I thought that one had a chance there as well off the redirect. Instead, it's dumped down, and Bormanis going to get on the end of this one. Bormanis with a little bit of ice. And now pulls it back as he's laid hard into the boards by Joe Pace, who's laid hard into the ground. Now Pace grabs his leg, and that's going to be a penalty. Pace is going to go to the box again. Pace still going after him.
Oh, didn't you just get out of the box?
That drew blood as well. It looks like Bormanis' mouth is bleeding. We'll see if it's a double minor. Dashers have to capitalize on this one. You got to think this is where you want to really come out and, pun fully intended, punch him in the mouth on this one.
That was a really silly play, way behind the play. In fact, the Prowlers had quite an attack going.
They did. They did.
And he just nullified that with a really stupid play behind the scenes.
Joe Pace back over to talk to the kids again. Maybe he was just having a good conversation.
Now the crowd's getting into it a little more.
Rightfully so. A little bit better play here, actually, from both sides. Some more clear-cut opportunities. Onto the point from Hine to Palmerville.
Still need more cowbell.
Palmerville, a shot. Paulin on it now. Nicely done to fall on that one and freeze it. Right there at the feet of Mitch Atkins, who was having no part in that. He put his hands up like, oh, you got it, you got it. One of the nicest hockey players I think I've ever met. You meet him, you almost think that he's not a hockey player, because not that hockey players are nice, they just usually have an air about them.
They're tough guys.
They are, they gotta be.
Look out.
Port Huron streaking. Gordichuk with a nice save. That one coming off the stick of Zach Solkanitz.
Smart to gobble that one up, because the Dashers were just out of sorts on that whole play.
14:28 left to go in the second period. 1:39 left to go here in the Joe Pace penalty.
Well, if the Dashers can cash in here, they could change the whole tone of this game. But again, they give up the puck on the faceoff.
This is Axel Kanitz is trying to change the game all by himself here on the Jenna Worth power play.
Who's on the power play here? They've had more chances than the Dashers this time around.
Sure seems like it's Port Huron playing with an extra man out there, that's for sure.
I'm going to count. Nope, they only got 4.
A full shift change here for Danville. Slade wins that one. The Dashers trying to regroup behind the net. Port Huron applying pressure. Nick Gullo behind the net here. Now to Turner. Turner carries across to Slade. Slade drops back to Gullo. Gullo playing the left defenseman spot right now. Turner swallows up a shot there, and it's Paulin that's swallowing it up, not Turner.
It's kind of interesting move. We see a lot of times when they're at equal strength, when Ben Bucal makes his usual dash towards the net, we see Gullo head over to the point. So now playing the point on the power play is pretty natural for him. Big danger of that, though, is if they give up the puck. It's not used to retreating fast.
The Dashers getting a little bit going here as they collect it behind the net. Tesserero back there with it now, looking for any kind of pass. Port Huron doing a nice job active skating, and they get the reward as Nick Gullo is unable to keep that one in. Collected by Danville. Ooh, Slade would have had a run there. Instead, Port Huron going to be able to collect this one with 35 seconds left to go in the penalty kill here. It's dumped down again as far as Jesse Gordichuk.
And new set of attackers on the ice for the Dashers.
Nick Gullo carrying, he's got space. Space and speed, deadly combination. Finds Mr. Levi Armstrong, who drags in on net. Just trying to shove it in there as he tries a wraparound as well.
He got it.
Paulin has no idea where the puck is, it's worth noting. Bodies hit the floor all over, left and right. 3 seconds left on the penalty.
That could have been another penalty on the Prowlers there. Boy, this is turned into quite a scrum along the boards here.
You know, when I said I was a fan of rugby, I didn't think they would take it literally and start playing rugby.
Oh, look out.
Oh, a nice shot there from Portillo. Coming around for it now, number 44, Alexander Grigorich.
Prowlers somehow got numbers on that play.
Oh, a huge hit there. Nothing dirty about that. Nick Gullo goes flying backwards, and the shot is frozen up by Paulin. Actually, that was Zalak.
And now we're getting a little after the play discussion.
Seems to be expected at this point between these two teams.
Yeah, I think they were just discussing what they want on their pizza after the game. I think they're going to go out and get a pizza pie together. Although I'm, as a avid lip reader, I don't recommend those toppings.
Port Huron getting a little bit here. A delayed offside waved off as the Dashers touch up. And now sent down the ice, Palmerville on it. Palmerville over to Hine. Hine tries to find Barakov. Instead, Pace is going to pick it up behind the net and try and throw it along the boards. Atkins unable to stop it. Bucal unable to stop it.
I think it's almost time for Joe Pace to go back to the penalty box again.
Yeah, if tendencies prove correct, it seems like it's almost that time of the night. Bukal on it now to Hine. Back to Bukal with some nice link-up passing. Bukal very fast on his skates, worth noting. He's a big dude, but also very fast.
Oh, nice play.
Fred Hine almost carries that one in. Instead, it's going to end up with Port Huron. Port Huron, for a second there, only had 5 men out. Almost caught with 6 there. A nice stick away from number 29, David Nippert, stops that. Port Huron getting some offensive build-up now, looking for a pass across. Instead, it hits Gordichuk on the pads. A nice save. Levi Armstrong was fighting for that one. Instead, comes back for a change as the puck bounces off the boards and comes to Palmerville. Over to Bukal, to Bormanis. Now on it.
Full out of steam.
Slade across the point. Hine out to Murray. Murray with a hard shot. A nice save there. Chris Paulin, beautifully done as he catches that one and frees it up.
Murray got all of that one, teed it up, and came with a blast from out top. Paulin with a great stop, but gave up a rebound there for just a second. Dashers almost cashed in.
Port Huron wins this one out. It's played along the boards. And Port Huron going to have a chance to run here. Pulled back. Numbers belong to the Dashers. They were better off going with the advance there. Instead, Danville going to have an attempt to work from the back. Some nice offensive, defensive pressure. You can get away with saying both because it ends up Jesse Gordichuk almost misplayed that one off the bounce. We've seen some weird bounces tonight. Wouldn't have been surprised to see that one get him. Carrying it is Ensor. Ensor passes around.
That puck just hopped right over his stick.
Now Port Huron with a break. Over to the left side, open net, Jesse Gordichuk.
Oh, what a stop!
A big save and a hit that sees Gordichuk's mask come off.
And now we're going to see a little bit of defending the goalie there.
And no real ambition there to hurt the goalie, I would say.
No, that was a good aggressive play.
You still always got to do it, you know.
Good aggressive play. But, you know, when your goalie gets hit, whether it's clean or dirty, you kind of have to protect your guy.
You definitely do.
But that was a big tumble to the ice by Gordichuk. But, boy, he very athletic plays sliding over. And good job by the referee checking to make sure he was okay, too.
I think that was Zach Solkanitz that was down on the ground there. Looked like 72.
Probably stays at the Fairfield Inn a lot.
Seems like this whole team does.
Weird play by Brad Denny there, playing the man instead of the puck, and gave up the puck. Ooh. A little action going on in front of the net now.
Oh, a hard shot there. Ends up in the arms of a Port Huron offense player. Almost puts it in. Another big hit laid. We've got sticks and bodies strewn about the ice. Port Huron looking threatening.
Oh, boy,
a nice pass across the point there by Dalton Jay.
Good job of keeping the puck in and keeping this play alive by Port Huron.
Dalton Jay playing facilitator here. He gets it across the ice to number 71, Justin Portillo. Portillo to the point. Now
Dashers, tired legs out there for the Dashers and a long way from a change.
Hard to get a swap here in the second period.
Need to get this puck out. Here we go.
And now they're going to have it, and they're going to have it on the run. It's Sam Turner coming down. He's got almost some help, but no, not quite. Dragged off the puck and a huge hit behind there into the net.
Should be a call on this one. Oh, there's another player in the net.
So Kanitz came from behind and hit an off-puck player into the net. I don't know. I think they only paused it because the net came off, though.
Wow, that. Well, we're going to have the media timeout here. That was a weird play because it looked like the Dashers, the first Dasher offensive player had been just dragged down to the ice. No call. And then the other Dasher ended up face first into the net and couldn't get himself out of the net.
And that, you know, you get tied up like that sometimes going for the puck, but all hustle plays, and both sides really seeing some extended offensive possession. It's been a fun game tonight after kind of a slow first period. This second period really heating things up. 2 goals already. We were 1-1 in the first last night, 2-2 in the second last night, and 3-3 in the third last night. We've tagged 2 of those boxes out so far tonight. 2-2 here with 8:51 left to go in the second.
2s are wild here in the second period, but boy, both teams very aggressive, but the pucks are just taking weird hops tonight.
Yeah, they definitely are. I am wonder that Port Huron hasn't buried one of these, especially down here at the other end. Man, they've got some guys that can really hurt you down the ice, so fast on the ice as well.
So we're going to have a neutral ice face-off here.
Face-off won by Danville, back to Bacall, over to Palmerville. That one slung all the way down the ice. Pace was waiting for it. A weird bounce, though, and a hard shot from Fred Hine. That was about as surprising as it gets. A big hit there from Ben Bacall. That one coming on number 21, Austin Federle. It was take him down or let him go, because, man, Federle can fly.
Love the way Ben Bacall just stood him right up and then took him out of the play.
Oh, a nice carry off the stick there, Levi Armstrong. Atkins coming down, he's got help. Atkins tries to find it over to Barakov, actually, out there. Hine out there as well. This one's trying to find Austin Federle. Instead, it ends up coming over by the boards. It's going to come back around Gordachuk. Port Huron with a lot of changes there, making 4 changes there. As Matt Robertson comes out onto the ice, David Nippard comes out onto the ice, as well as a cage-wearing Brian Parsons. I would have to wear a cage every game. I'm sure he's only doing it for protection from injury, but I'd have to do it every game, so no comment from me.
I would need a cage and bubble wrap.
Yeah, me too. Especially with some of these guys coming after you, right?
Pretty tough dudes out here. That was a weird play right at the blue line.
Another strange play, but it's going to work for Port Huron here. Coming down the middle.
Numbers.
A shot on Gordachuk is wide to the right. Almost a rebound buried there. In on net was Matt Robertson. Again. Gordachuk's on the ground, and Bormanis is going to run with it.
Yeah, Gordachuk's a little shaken up.
Looks like it. He's slow to get up. They were going to want to freeze this one. He took a hard hit there.
Yeah, he's favoring a leg too right now.
The Dashers do have Harley White, but looks like Gordachuk's going to be good to go here after a little
kid. He'll be ready to go.
Repositioning. Nigel Slade bringing it down the ice. He's got Gullo to his right. Bormanis fires a shot that's redirected up into the net.
Yeah, Gordy's doing a little stretching out, but looking like he'll stick around. It was kind of a weird play when he went flopping on the ice. I think he might have gotten hit with a skate on the back of the leg. Again, nothing that was done malicious by Port Huron. They just got tangled up and down on the ice and into the goalie.
Oh, a blown tire there, but the puck kept in the zone.
Good job of not giving up on that play.
Bormanis tries to find a pass there. Instead, Port Huron's coming the other way. Making a run with it is Alexander Strack. Strack looking for help.
He's not going to get much.
Oh, he carries it in and has a shot on Gordachuk. He's covering that right post, but a nice play there from Alexander Strack. Shot from the point is almost redirected. And if you're Port Huron, you really want to go after Jesse Gordachuk now that he's a little bit shaken up.
Oh, delayed offside again.
Good heads up there from Nick Gullo to fight off the delayed offside as Nigel Slade had crept onto the wrong side of the blue line.
Doing a great skating demonstration, too. That kid is fast.
Great hand-eye there by Brian Parsons is going to find Justin Portillo down the ice. He's along the boards now fighting for it. A shot from the point goes into the leg of Logan Hoggood, who kicks it out to Levi Armstrong. Armstrong picks a pass out.
Close.
And almost finds Sam Turner. Turner able to recover. Armstrong with it now, looking for a pass, elects to carry it behind. A nice defensive play there from Port Huron. Making the defensive coverage there was Alexander Strack.
Levi doing a good job of reading that play, and once he saw that his team was going to lose possession, he retreated quickly to help out.
Some good back and forth play here, a lot of open ice for both sides. 5:30 left to go here in the second period. 2-2 on the scoreboard.
That puck ends up all the way down by Gordichuk.
Was not frozen, but it is going to come all the way back around here. Playing it is Matt Stoya, and that ends up coming over to Federle. Federle able to dump this one in. Armstrong fighting for it, but it's Zolkanitz that ends up with it in the end. Strong body guy also can fly down the ice. Palmerville on this one. Palmerville into the boards by Zolkanitz. Zolkanitz tripped up. Nothing called on that one.
They got away with one there. Dashers did, that is.
Dashers coming the other way with it now. Fred Hine from the right. A shot on Paulin. Oh, and almost a wraparound chance there from Zalak. Instead, we're going to see a stoppage of play. I think the net might have come off its mooring. It did.
Stick was being held there. One of the Dashers having their stick held, but I think the net was off the moorings before the infraction. Down to 4:51 here in the second, still tied up, 2 apiece. Puck seems to have a mind of its own tonight, Nate.
It does. It's making quite a few choice bounces. Coming down the other side with it, Federle. Lays it off. It's burned out on just a little bit as Fred Hine's going to find some space. Instead, a nice defensive effort there. Ends up with the puck in the Port Huron offensive zone here as they're going to try and do something with it. Dashers unable to clear it here. Trying to put something together. Barakov on it now.
Puck hopping away from everybody.
It was outside here. It's Graham. Graham with a shot, and that one is redirected off Gordichuk. I think it was blown dead as it looked like it went out, and it might have came up and hit the net and gone out and came back in. That was Matt Robertson on the shot, not Matt Graham.
I think this group of pucks using tonight was made with a little bit of silly putty. That puck is doing some weird bouncing tonight.
And it is bouncing in pretty much every angle possible so far. Fred Hine kicks this one out. Brad Denny's going to end up on the other end of it. Denny from the point, a shot on Paul.
Oh, close to giving up a big rebound there, but now they got numbers.
Port Huron with numbers coming back now to the right side. It's a shot, and it's a goal.
Just beat Gordy.
They beat him down to the right side on that stick side. A nice goal there as Port Huron retakes the lead.
Yeah, that was a shot that came in pretty fast and beat him. It's one of the few times this year we've seen Gordichuk give up one of those first-timer type of opportunities. It wasn't a great shot, but it was enough to elude him.
And sometimes that's all it takes. I mean, we've seen a few right place, right time goals already tonight. That one was not. That was a nice shot there. And Port Huron takes the lead at 3-2. Danville now behind here with 3:55 left to go in the second period. Oh, a redirected pass there. Almost takes the head off of Mitch Atkins. He ducks out of the way. Just testing the Spider-Man reflexes.
I noticed even though that one came pretty close to Coach, he didn't even flinch.
He is a man of steel. David Nippert scored that last goal, by the way, assisted by Matt Robertson and Matt Graham, the two Matts teaming up there for Port Huron's third goal. There's actually a couple different Matts on this team. That was two of them, though. Slade on this one, a delayed offside and called.
And a little bit of pushing and shoving afterwards, and now we've got about 6 players getting ready to go at it.
Nigel Slade must have a way with words, Dennis. He seems to always have somebody coming after him. Now Murray has somebody coming after him as well. There was a lot of jaw-jocking going on there from the Danville guys as well.
Such a pleasant young man. I can't imagine what he could have said. Maybe he was just greatly misunderstood. He was trying to compliment the other player's mother.
Right, it's just lost in translation from English to English, right?
Yeah. And here we go.
Here we go, Levi Armstrong dropping the gloves. Going up against him, Alexander Gregorich.
And they're going to skate right out to center ice to put on a good show.
Gregorich with a hard left hook. He's already on the ground. That one broken up before it even got the chance to start. Gregorich blew a skate, and Armstrong came down on him. That one broken up very quickly by the officials. They didn't even get to go.
No, I think that was one of those deals where the frustrations of all these extra hits kind of adding up, and both players dropping the gloves and going at it.
Armstrong
It was
is
sort of a delayed fight too, as they kind of both skated out from their from the side of the ice out to center rink to make sure they were right there in the squared circle.
Armstrong, a fan favorite, and he's also got some fans in attendance, I know for sure. He's got some family in town to watch him. From nearby Champaign, Illinois, only about 30 miles from, or 30 minutes, about 45 miles from here or so. Depends on how fast you drive. We'll just go with that. Port Huron with a shot right off of that, though. No minors assessed there, just the 5 minutes for fighting. Danville now coming down the other way. Port Huron has numbers, but Danville threatening here. A pass across the slot, almost fired in from the right side. It's out to the point to Palmerville. Palmerville with a little bit of open ice, instead passes to Fred Hine. Hine back out to the point to the other side to Bukal. Bukal fires one in, it's almost redirected there. Fry Barakov, instead Hine gonna end up with it again. He's been everywhere the last couple of minutes. A shot from the point, trying to redirect it in there is Palmerville. Chris Paulin, a great job to keep that one out.
Good idea by the Dashers, though.
Mitch Atkins put into the boards and down to the ground. Another big time hit there.
Oh, I think we're gonna see another thing breaking out here on the soon.
Would not be surprised. Port Huron has numbers, though. No reason to substitute that. A nice stick there, actually, to take that one. That was Matt Graham, who kind of juggled that one in the offensive zone. Keeps a possession for Port Huron. Another big hit there. Sticks are actually starting to fly a little bit now. Port Huron back on defense as Danville tries to run with it. Fred Hine on it. Hine somehow ends up with that one. Don't know how that happened, but Port Huron gets it back nonetheless. A shot there, that was Nippard throwing that one in.
Nifty play by Port Huron.
Right in front of the point. Gordichuk has to swallow one up and freeze it.
And another little shenanigans going on behind the play.
Matt Robertson with that last shot. Gordichuk shakes off the earlier striking hit from the puck and buries that one.
Ben Bukal making sure nobody got close to his goalie that time. Little pushing and shoving. Crowd's starting to get a little more fired up, though, after the Levi Armstrong demonstration. We're suddenly down to 2:04 left in the period, though.
Fast period tonight, 3-2, 2:04 left, as you said, in the second period. Face off here to the right of Jesse Gordichuk. Danville wins out, but quickly loses out. With a little bit of chance here, Port Huron had an opportunity in front of net. Jesse Gordichuk forced to freeze this one again. Looming down on him large was Matt Robertson.
And after the play, once again, a couple of players, John.
A little huddle here from Port Huron as they get their game plan. On the face-off for them, number 51, Matt Graham. That face-off frozen up.
He didn't like, Port Huron player did not like the way Dashers player came up with his stick after they face off there.
David Nippard brings the puck back to the ref with a smile.
I don't think these two teams like each other.
I don't think so. I think some of the guys probably do, but yeah, on the most part, I would say there's quite a few non-friendly relationships.
Dangerous play there.
Gordichuk being asked to do a lot here. Port Huron looming large. Danville trying to get anything out of their zone, a long way from a shift change. That one goes to the left of Gordichuk. It's going to be collected again by Port Huron. Behind it there was Matt Robertson.
Yeah, they need to get this puck out.
Port Huron with a great job connecting passes. That one's out to the point. Over the head of Gordichuk, not by much though. This one might finally be contained by Nick Gullo. Passes it back along the boards. Nobody there, though. Brad Denny's going to have to work for this one. Instead, it's touched up by Jonathan Giuliano. Out in front, Gordichuk left wide open. Nice save, Jesse Gordichuk. kept in nicely there by Joe Pace, who fires one on.
Prowlers thought they had the 4th goal of the night.
And rightfully so. They look like the much more threatening team. Pace's shot almost redirected in there by Matt Robertson. Gordichuk is going to have to cover this one up. They got to do anything they can to get a shift change.
Boy, that was a very close call on 2 occasions. In fact, the Prowlers players started celebrating. They thought they had him beat, and then realized that Gordichuk just stood on his head yet again.
Back to the faceoff. 44 seconds left to go here in the second period. 3-2 Port Huron over the Danville Dashers. Currently serving some time in the box, Levi Armstrong, and also Port Huron player Fairfield N. This one tied up along the boards. 33 seconds left by the time we get out of it. On the other end of it, a shot is kind of redirected there. Zilak unable to get to it. He's fought off nicely. Port Huron doing a great job here on this offensive possession at stringing passes together. Safe to say this line has been the most lethal here so far. That speed there from Nippert and everyone else there, especially as Justin Portillo able to recollect that one. That one almost eked over the blue line, but Justin Portillo with a nice job. 5 seconds left to go here. That one's lofted to Sam Turner, who might get the chance to fire it back, and he does. It's off the post, and the period runs out of time. 3-2 Port Huron over the Danville Dashers here as we head to the final frame, potentially the final frame in the third period. As we're going to see the 2 fighting contestants, if you call it a fight. It wasn't much of a fight there, making their way out. They didn't really get a chance to get started. No harm, no foul. As we head to the third period here, Greg Ulrich and Levi Armstrong make their way out to the benches, and the benches make their way off the ice into the inside benches.
I wonder if we'll see any of the players from the Prowlers take their sweet time getting off the ice again. I think they got like a Subway sandwich or something on the bench that they're chowing down on or something.
If I had food on the bench, I'd be staying there too. Once again, Zolkanis.
Same player is taking his sweet time. Seems to be enjoying driving the fans a little nuts by not coming off the bench.
There he goes. That's really funny.
He's just sitting there waiting for the fans to egg him on a little bit more.
I am a fan of that. He's still not the last one off the ice, though. That's the best part.
Oh, my goodness.
It always seems like every team, whether it's Danville, Port Huron, Watertown, Elmira, Columbus, Battle Creek, there's always 1 or 2 players who stay a little bit longer just to kind of, pitch their case to the referee. Last period, a couple Danville guys. This period, a couple Port Huron guys. You never know. Could work. As we see the chuck-a-puck come down, that means we're here in the second intermission. Dennis, Danville's down by a goal here heading into the third. If you're Coach Ray Tremblay, what's your message in that locker room?
I think the message is to get everybody some Monster Energy drinks or something. Ooh, look at that. We have a chuck-a-puck that I think made it. That is awfully close.
Sure looks like it. We've only seen it happen one time. We've had a couple come close. I've only seen it one time in 2 years, if that tells you anything.
That was a great shot because that thing just stopped. Here's another one coming. Oh, rolled close, but didn't make it.
And with all the pucks coming in, well, I'm going to ask, what's your message if you're Ray Tremblay heading into the second intermission here?
More energy. I just think that the Prowlers out-hustled the Danville Dashers in that second period, and they were able to cash in that goal as a result. And to be honest with you, Nate, it's lucky to be only down by 1 at this point.
It definitely is. Both sides have had a fair share of opportunities, but Port Huron looked by far the more threatening side in that second period. We'll see how it comes out in the third. It'll be interesting to see what becomes of this third period. Last night, we saw a crazy third period that ended up leading to overtime. We'll see if Danville can crawl their way back into this one and tie the game up coming out of the second period. We'll be back in just a while here on the Danville Dashers Broadcast Network. Make sure to stay tuned for the third period. I could not have turned that back on any better to time it right with the horn being blown. Welcome back, everybody, here on the Danville Dashers Broadcast Network. Nate Williamson here with you as we get ready to start the third period. I've got with me Mr. Dennis Michelson. Now, Dennis, heading into the final frame here, the Dashers trail 3-2, a full 20 minutes here to strike back and even or better the score. What are your thoughts coming into the third period?
Going to need a lot more energy and a lot more accuracy on their passes. They really were outplayed, especially in the second half of that second period. And to be honest with you, Nate, I'm kind of surprised they're only down by 1 with the way they finished out that second period. And it wasn't just the Dashers being a little off their game. Port Huron played a really good, solid end of that second period. Definitely outplayed the Dashers.
They were connecting almost every pass, it seemed. They have played a really good game tonight, and that was a prime example of what they can do at their best on the offensive end. Great job, especially in the latter half of that second period, and they're already applying pressure here as Danville tries to get it out of their zone off the faceoff win. They do. Nick Gullo going to run with it now. Gullo threads it through Slade to the right side. It's not taken with it. Bormanis couldn't grab it from behind. Now Port Huron comes the other way. Already wide open action here at the David S. Palmer Arena. Third period underway. This one will be collected by Danville. It was loose behind the boards there. Slade brings this one and elects for a shift change rather than meet the bad side of the boards there.
Good, strong work behind the net. I think that was Bormanis digging that one out.
Mitch Atkins kind of throws that one behind there.
Another good play by the Dashers.
That one, Artem Efimov Barakov with the hustle play as he skates that one behind Paulin. Does just enough, and the Dashers keep it. Fred Hine, a rocket of a shot that's saved by Paulin. Bowed in and out of the glove. Brad Denny almost able to keep that one in. Instead, we got a stretch pass here coming down. Dalton Jay. Jay with a shot and scores. Beats him high into the left glove side. Bar down and in. Dalton Jay gets the 2-goal lead for Port Huron. Just nothing Gordichuk could do about that one. That was a rocket right into the top left corner on a stretch pass. A beautiful stretch pass there. Just fired home. Easy as to like it for Dalton Jay. And there we go again. Port Huron, we know, can score very, very well. There's another example of it. They take a 4-2 lead here. A little bit into the third period.
The spacing by the Dashers on the offensive end just wasn't right. And then as soon as that rocket of a shot bounced away, quickly Port Huron was able to capitalize.
Dashers can't connect anything, but they end up with it anyway. A shot fired on here. It's swallowed up by Paul, and he was going to get rid of it, but then elects just to freeze it. Sam Turner threw that one in. And man, that's a quick way. That's a way to come out and punch a team in the mouth, isn't it, Dennis?
Yeah, and it just heard that little horn there was the sign that the 2 babblers from earlier have been released from the penalty box and head to their benches.
I think if we hadn't seen that intermission in between, they might have just gone at it again right out of the penalty box because they looked like they wanted to right when they went in, but they coolly get over to the bench. Both players, their teams are going to need them, so now's not the time to give up that.
Good job by the lineman to actually get in between the two of them as well.
Big deflection there, out of play, and we're going to see a neutral zone face-off here.
A very happy fan hustled after the puck.
That's a great souvenir. It's like a foul ball at a baseball game. Similar kind of concept.
I was sitting over in the family section for part of the warm-up tonight and almost got hit by a puck. Took a very bizarre bounce off the wall and decided they wanted to come up and try to find me. But a young fan was able to get a nice little souvenir during warm-ups today.
It's always nice. Another fight here. We are going to go back at it.
Two.
Levi Armstrong and Alexander Gregorich. Armstrong sticks out the left. Gregorich fires the first punch. Levi Armstrong grazes the helmet. Gregorich on the ground. Both guys getting back up. The refs are going to let this one go. Gregorich throws a left. He's got Levi by the helmet. Helmet off. Armstrong still going. Gregorich on the ground. Levi on top of him. Levi Armstrong landed the final punch there with the right hook as they fight for the second time on the night. And to the penalty boxes they go. That was a little bit more delayed and long-standing than the first. A few good shots in there from both sides.
Yo, Adrian, Rocky 2, Levi style.
That was a nicely done brawl there. Armstrong, a nice job of getting out of the headlock. Gregorich had quite the advantage there going for quite some time. That's a fun one. That's a fun one.
Yep, it didn't take long for that to reignite. Kind of lost his jersey on that one, too. He's kind of having to redress himself in the...
Looked like it might have gotten ripped off.
Yep. They don't have a lot of spares. And they're still jawing through the glass at each other.
You do kind of wonder if they're jawing, maybe they're just trading baking recipes, right? Dasher's going to have a chance here. Paulin actually down on the net. A stick accidentally got to him. Gullo across the slot almost finds Bormanis. Dasher's threatening. Bormanis behind here. Gullo ends up taking it instead. Fires it back down the boards to Bormanis. Wrong, strong shot there, Nigel Slade. That one kept in the zone with a nice play by Zalak. And instead it's going to come out here to the side for Port Huron. Firing that one down was Justin Portillo. He gets spun around.
A little trade of sticks behind the play again. Maybe we're going to see another fight here develop.
Wouldn't be surprised. Nick Gullo, so good with the stick there. Does just enough. Mitch Atkins touches that one up. He's going to be able to run with this one if he gets a little space. He does. He brings it around, doesn't take the puck with him. Good enough to get it out to the point, though, to Bukal. He keeps it over on the onside. A stretch pass hits off the referee. I don't think either player quite knew where that one had gone. Fred Hine tries to fire a nice backwards pass to Gullo. It's not touched up, though. It instead finds Port Huron, who's coming down the left side here. A fake shot from that left side, carrying the puck there, Matt Stoya.
Oh, big hit.
Stoya played partially into the boards there. Ben Bukal might have taken the majority of it there. It's going to be carried over here, Mitch Atkins. Atkins trips up a man on accident there, trying to get the shot off. A good defensive play from Port Huron. A wildly bouncing puck thrown behind. Almost sealed off by the Dashers, and it is sealed up. Fred Hine on that one with a nice deke. He's going to have a little bit of space. He's tripped up, and that's going to be a penalty. It could be a penalty shot. The crowd is clamoring for one, but it wasn't quite a clear breakaway. That would be a pretty extreme call to make in this one.
Yeah, they didn't make the call at all for that. They're just going to send them to the box for 2 minutes.
It was certainly not a clear-cut scoring opportunity is the way I would phrase that one. And that's what the guidelines are for a penalty shot.
Good job by Fred Hine, though, pushing the pressure towards the net and drawing that penalty. And Dashers need to cash in on this power play if they want to get back into this game.
And you know who made his way to the penalty box?
I'm kind of figuring it was Joe Pace Jr.
It was Joe Pace Jr.
Actually posted on Facebook a nice little video of Joe earlier in the game in the penalty box. So
he's found a home there. This one out to the point to Palmerville. Over to Bukal. Bukal with a shot, almost redirected in the redirect, trying to put it in. Danville can't seem to get a solid stick on it. Bodies hit the floor. Paulin freezes the puck. Wow.
How did that one stay out of the net? Excellent chance for the Dashers. All kinds of opening there. The net again kind of wobbly on the moorings. Getting a little repair job here.
1:41 left to go here, approximately, on the Jenna Worth power play. 16:25 left to go in the third period. Danville down a pair.
Dashers doing a good job off the draw again.
Fred Hine with some space out to Atkins. Atkins fires one in. It's nicely blocked there by Austin Federle.
Oh, yes, beautiful job stopping it by Ben Bukal.
And Bukal exchanges another one. Barakov held off nicely there from number 18 on that one. Unlisted. We'll call him Fairfield in. Unlisted. Coming back around Palmerville. Palmerville across the slot with some space. Now Atkins trying to poke one through. Barakov on it, out into the middle of nothing. Nothing called on the no penalty there. Dashers wanted one. Instead, a long stretch pass from Gordachuk to Fred Hine. Hine had a little bit of help down the wing in the form of Alex Palmerville. Elects to keep it himself. Slade pushed from behind on that one. And Port Huron going to have a chance. And they can eat some serious clock now.
Playing a little four corners action here.
Gordachuk behind his net to grab this one.
35 seconds left in the power play.
Brad Denny gets it. Not quite on the same page there as Gordachuk, but it ends up okay nonetheless.
Here comes a good rush.
Slade carried over. Port Huron does a great job getting back. And that one is
again
put back, and that's going to give probably the Dashers one more chance here on the Genworth power play, but otherwise going to mostly kill it out.
15 seconds.
Well done to Port Huron.
Very aggressive play, and again, showing why they're one of the top power penalty killing units.
Gordachuk trying to spur his team on a little bit. He stood on his head for them tonight. Gullo with a good opportunity. Tesserero tries to throw one across the slot.
Good opportunity.
Had a lot of space if he just wanted to shoot from the point. We've seen him bury a couple of slap shots, but instead tries to make the pass. And the power play expires.
Fires one towards the net again.
Zalak almost throws that one in. That one's going to be tipped up and out of and over the glass, out of play.
Good opportunities for the Dashers. They were pouring it on the offensive end. They just couldn't cash in. And there's another player going to the penalty box for Port Huron. Brian Parsons heading to the box. Back on the power. Yep, back on the power play for the Dashers again. If at first you don't succeed,
try again. Played behind the net here. Pace with a nice defensive effort there. Active stick. Zalak going to end up on this one, having to outstretch a nice play there to get it to Murray. Murray on it now. Enser gives it away cheaply. All that hustle for nothing. Now Dalton Jay going to have an opportunity. He's stripped there by Murray. Dalton Jay with a nice rush.
Good job by Troy Murray on that one.
Dalton Jay found himself pretty wide open there. A nice stick from Murray, the only defense.
But again, aggressive play, forechecking by the Prowlers. Keep this play from developing again for the Dashers.
Danville not able to get anything together outside of that first line with Hine and Gullo out there. They're the only two that seemingly can make an impact on this really tenacious Port Huron defense.
Port Huron showing good pressure here. Making the Dashers think and waste a few more seconds.
And an errant pass there again. Danville not able to connect anything here down the stretch.
Down to 50 seconds in this power play, and they really have not had much going.
Bukal flying down the ice here. He keeps it. In front of goal, Paulin, now the nice save, is going to have to freeze that one up.
Gave up that rebound for just a second, and it almost got to be a problem. And I think we've got Rocky 2 set to come back from the penalty box here.
Do you think they'll go for a third time?
I don't know. Sometimes that third sequel just isn't as good as the first two.
That's a fair point. You would think the third time would get you a game misconduct in all likelihood as well. Probably be out of the game.
They're getting a full escort to the bench this time.
That's the rules in pretty much every other league anyway. Atkins on it now on the left side. Atkins behind the net here. It comes back out to Palmerville. Palmerville over to Bukal. Bukal to Palmerville. A shot from the point, a nice save from Paulin. I thought that one was blown dead there for a second, but it was not. Port Huron dumps it down the ice. 18 seconds left to go on the Genworth power play. 12:36 left to go in the third period. Danville down a pair, 4-2 Port Huron. Palmerville carries. A nice deke gets him some space. It also opens up a little bit of room on the point. Slade on it now over to Hine. And not a great pass there from Nigel Slade as the penalty expires. A shot from the point. Bukal, rebound, open net.
Oh, just could not get that puck.
Tied up was Nigel Slade, unable to do anything. That was completely open net. You got to think he's frustrated.
Man. He was shaking his head as he went to the bench. The puck was hopping. He couldn't get his stick on it.
Barakov had a nice stretch pass given to him there, but it bounces off his stick. And Brad Denny on it now. He's hounded there.
Dashers just again look a little unorganized at times throughout this game tonight. 11:49 left in the third. Dashers down by 2. Need to get something going here.
Port Huron looking the more threatening offense right now as they are stopping the Dashers from doing anything productive. Jesse Gordichuk getting a little bit beat up in there.
Yeah, they need to clear out the front of that net.
And tough play here. Port Huron killing a good chunk of time. They're content to do that, that's for sure. 4-2 here. They have the lead. 11:16 left to go in the third. Behind net, Brad Denny over to Nick Gullo. Gullo trying to throw a long pass there. It's just behind Logan Hawgood. Brad Denny blew a tire. He's going to be part of the shift change here. Ensor and Murray coming out as Port Huron's on the run. Not a great shift change there, actually, as Port Huron had numbers coming. It ends well, though, and the Dashers might have numbers here as an unsuspecting Port Huron made a quick change. Federley gets out of the box in time. I have a feeling you could give someone a whole ice rink head start and Federley could still catch up to him. That man can fly.
Very fast. And there's another whiff on a clearing play.
And that one comes off the boards to Federley. Federley touches it up there. Instead, it's going to come all the way to Ensor. Thrown all the way down. This one's going to come back. It didn't get far enough to be an icing. Instead, it was played by Joe Pace. Turns it over back to Murray. To Ensor. Ensor off the boards there to Tesserero. Fans on one. It comes all the way back to Ensor. Over to Murray. Unable to get anything going. This line just looks a little lackadaisical. Looks like we're going to have an offside called.
Well, dumped that one in from outside of center ice, so I think it's coming all the way back down for an icing.
I didn't even think it was that far through.
Yeah.
Makes a lot more sense that way, though.
Sluggish play again here by the Danville Dashers as we get really close to the halfway point of this third and final period.
Tesserero on it here. That was Matt Graham winning it, though, and the Danville Dashers ended up with the rebound off a pass. Matt Stoya plays it out as far as Troy Murray. Played with a high stick there, but the Dashers recover it, so it's waved off. A shot from the point, and Chris Paulin does a nice job at wrapping it up.
Zillick was right there, ready to pounce for another goal, but did not give up that rebound. And little jawing going on behind the play again, and the referees will step in. It's supposed to be a timeout, guys.
You'll have that. 9:45 left to go here in the third period. We get the media timeout. 4-2 here at the David S. Palmer Arena with 9:45 left to go in the third. As we said, a physical, tightly contested match. It's been a fun one tonight, Dennis.
Been a goofy one. Puck seems to have a mind of its own tonight, trying to avoid heavy contact with sticks at times. But the Dashers to this point have been thoroughly outplayed. The score of 4-2, Prowlers very reflective of what's going on out on the ice, because the Dashers have been outplayed. In fact, I think they're lucky to be only down by 2 right now.
Yeah, I would agree with that, and plenty of offensive opportunities in this game. Neither side really able to capitalize on an easy opportunity, but they've had every luck at capitalizing on a weird bounce or two so far. Plenty of time left in the game here for Danville. If you're Coach Ray Tremblay, you got this as your timeout. You have another timeout as well if you choose to use it. What are you telling your troops here heading into the final 9 3/4 minutes?
Telling them they've got to start taking some more chances on the offensive end here. Need to get a goal here quick to get back in this one.
This is a big one, too. You're playing basically to get back even, or a little bit behind, actually, for second place in the conference. Of course, Carolina well out in front of both teams.
Never want to get swept at home on a weekend.
You certainly do not, especially not in today's FPHL. Tight.
Oh,
a beautiful play. That ended up in. The light's not on, though. The light is not on. Pollin's 90% in the goal,
I
laying
think he
on
tucked
this
that
one.
one in.
There is no indication of goal whatsoever, and the goal light did not come on.
Was that Artem Efremov Barakov
I
with that play?
personally don't think it's going to matter.
I thought he tucked that one home. And look at this. He's not wanting to get up because he knows that there's a good chance that the puck is over the goal line.
I mean, 90% of his body is over the goal line, so you got to think. He's saying no. He's wagging his finger no. And
he's
they're
not
all
moving. Pollin's not moving.
I think Pollin might be hurt.
There's a good chance of that.
Well, now we'll never know where that puck was.
Oh, it was all the way in the back of the net. When he got up, that puck was in the back of the net.
No goal.
Wow. When the goalie got up, that puck was definitely behind. Wow.
You know, you had to have a feeling that one wasn't going to go. The penalty light or the goal light did not come on.
Goal light did not come on, but the referee can make that decision all by himself.
He did not point in any indication towards the goal as well, though. That's
Stoya
one thing to watch.
Stoya was the one that retrieved the puck when the goaltender, Chris Pollin, finally got up, and that puck was all the way in the back of the net.
Joe
It
Pace
was
Jr.
definitely-
still pleading his case here.
Boy.
We're now 2 minutes into this delay here, and we're finally going to get back underway. Not even sure what that conversation was about.
I think he should be grateful that they got away with one there because that puck was past the goal.
Well, you got to do it again.
Unless they whistled the play dead saying that they lost sight of the puck. That's the only thing that would make sense there.
Now that one's going to come back for an icing. Fred Hines not pleased.
No, he's not pleased at all, and for good reason. This should be 4-3 right now.
We'll have to take a look at that one on the replay after the game because sure did look like a goal, but no indication of such.
Well, I was just waiting to see when the goaltender got up where that puck was, and it was over the goal.
The thing that I trust, and for better or for worse, I always look for that goal light. That's your first indication.
They're pretty good. They're usually pretty good on that.
It is tough. That's a tough job. So, but, well, Port Huron, whether they got away with one or not, they still have a 2-goal lead, and they got to like where they sit here with 8:40 left to go in the period. Atkins was looking for a penalty along the boards. Instead, he's going to end up with a pass to his feet. Now Hine on it.
Here we go.
Armstrong carries. Armstrong dumps back to Hine. Hine with it over to Atkins. Atkins with a backwards spinning shot.
Just missed.
Not too far away from Pollin's goal. This one flipped all the way up. Doesn't hit anything. Comes back down.
Somehow that missed the rafters.
I'm not sure. Logan Hoggood on it now carrying. They could have numbers if they move quick. Hoggood with a slapper. Instead out to Slade. Slade takes a big hit there into the boards, and coming up with it, number 27,
Slade
Alexander
hurt.
Strack.
Slade's hurt.
Hine ended up on the ground.
That's Fred Hine.
That's Fred Hine. Hoggood puts a man into the boards.
Took a big hit into his side.
Oh, a shot here from Port Huron. It's a wide. Gordichuk equal to that one. He was ready on the side there. Hoggood fighting for this puck. Port Huron threatening once again. Now Danville coming the other way with it. Nick Gullo, the speedster, dragging down. A fake shot, gets him some room. Throws one off. It's redirected up and almost into our friends from Port Huron's booth up there.
We are seeing some really wacky things that this puck is doing tonight. We've seen some of the highest flying pucks of the season so far.
Now I hear rumors about them juicing baseballs in the MLB. Maybe they're trying to do the same with these pucks.
Silly putty, that's my my guess.
It's that goop that you get when you're a kid. Danville on it now, coming the other way with it. Another high flyer down there. That one almost actually challenged Paul, and Dashers in front of net. Rebound in! Barakov!
Yeah, that one's gonna count. That was a weird setup on that play as the puck was lofted in. The goaltender wasn't sure what to do with it. Then he finally ducked. Puck took a wicked bounce off the back boards, and the Dashers were able to retrieve and quickly tuck it in for the score. Wow.
Dashers back within 1, 7:18 left to go in the game.
That woke the crowd up.
Or at least in the period, I should say.
We still need more cowbell.
More cowbell. Danville with the goal there. Port Huron back on the puck. That one flipped up not too far from us. Almost a nice one-handed grab there.
Yeah.
Still end up with a souvenir. Even if you don't make the catch, you still get the souvenir.
Yeah. The cameraman was quick enough to get the shot of that fan making the play on that one.
We'll see. We'll see. Oh, you did. Very nicely done, Mr. Cameraman.
I'm telling you.
I don't know who's doing the camera work.
That guy's an idiot. He never takes very good direction.
Coming back around now, Danville on it. Bukal fires a hard slapper off the boards. Gullo fighting for it. Gullo takes a huge hit there. Nothing dirty about that. That was two guys going hard for the puck, and both come away good from it. That's good hockey. You love to see that.
Oh, yeah. Good, hard, rough play, but
Oh,
clean
they leave
play.
Bukal unattended, and if they run fast, they got numbers. Oh, Slade almost has a shot there. Actually, that came off Bormanis. A shot from the point, threatening. Bormanis on it again, back out to the point. Bukal was making a shift change at an unfortunate time there.
Yeah, Ben Bukal was really aggressive in the offensive end there. Ooh, big hit along the boards again.
And Barakov officially gets that goal off of Seth Ensor's redirect and rebound.
And we've got a little discussion in front of the net again. And once again, Gordichuk's taking a beating tonight. He's a little slow getting up. And no, folks, I'm not being mean to the cameraman. I'm talking about myself.
And behind net, Brad Denny kind of drops that one off for Hawgood. Instead, Port Huron's going to grab it, keep it along the boards here. They're content to waste a little time. 6 minutes left to go. Gordichuk bats that one out. Brad Denny on it. Brad Denny can't keep a hold of it, though.
Very aggressive play by Port Huron.
A goal.
They got that one.
A huge point shot. That was Matt Stoya with a beauty.
Yeah, Matt Stoya beating Gordichuk to that left-hand corner of that net. Went top shelf and cashed in, and that lead back up to 2.
And before you know it, you're back down by 2. That's just kind of how this game's gone tonight for the Dashers.
Port Huron out hustling the Dashers on that play and then cashed in with a wicked shot from the point. I don't think Gordichuk expected him to fire it from there.
I don't think he did either. A little bit of screen action, but not too bad. Just got beat.
Oh.
Murray took a big hit there trying to catch the puck.
Yep.
This one slapped all the way down.
I think he had called the fair catch.
Yeah,
so.
it looked like it. Joe Pace Jr. fired that one down. Now Fred Hine touches it up over to Armstrong.
This aggressive style of play by Port Huron has paid off all night.
Line change kind of mid-game as well here for Coach Ray Tremblay, as Armstrong's now out there with Fred Hine and Mitch Atkins. Atkins now on it. Atkins with some space. A shot. It's just wide to the left of Collin.
In front of the net to cash in on that one, because that would have been a good opportunity.
Now coming the other way with it, Justin Portillo dumps it back, flaring on a shot there. Number 17, Hatham Oid.
And again, rubbed out on the play. Great aggressive play by Port Huron.
Very, very good on defense so far tonight, Port Huron.
Ooh, big hit along the boards.
Goes flying into the boards.
Collected the referee as well, or linesman anyway.
That's animal abuse. Can't hit a zebra. And coming the other way with it again, Justin Portillo leading the break on the right side. Carries through. Plays it back right in front of Gordichuk, who's been tied up. Flaring on that one was Logan or Christopher Bermanis. Right in front of Gordichuk. He's going to have to freeze this one and in a hurry. Gullo's trying to take on the tallest guy on there as he runs into.
It's kind of a strategy that Nick does almost every game. He might be small, but he's mighty. Port Huron has just out-hustled the Dashers tonight. They've been very, very aggressive, and it's paid off. They've gotten a couple of key turnovers and been able to cash in. That's the difference in the game.
Gordichuk looks a little bit shaken up or a little bit frustrated, kind of has his head down.
Rough game for Gordichuk physically. He's been beat on quite a bit.
And the Dashers coming the other way. Tesserero looking to make an impact. Been quiet so far tonight. He fires a shot there. It's touched up nicely by Matt Paulin.
Followed his own shot.
That was Bormanis on it there. Actually, Baraka. A shot from the side.
Oh.
Tesserero almost had one. It comes off the shoulder pad of Chris Paulin. Got to be careful here. Austin Federley's going to go for this one, and Gordichuk does well to come out and get that one. Federley threatening down on the turnover there.
Gordy having to flail with that stick to knock the puck away.
And it's not easy to outrace Mr. Austin Federley. This one sent all the way down here. Port Huron now in the offensive zone. Dumps it down to number 29, David Nippard.
Great job of just waiting for help.
Denny over to Hine. A little bit behind Hine. You got to clean those passes up if you want to get back into this game with 3:10 left to go in the third. A big shot there goes over the net.
Every time the Dashers have been sloppy on the offense, Port Huron has quickly pounced on that opportunity and pushed their advantage down to the offensive end and almost cashed in again there. This is the first game at home this year that we've seen the Dashers completely outplayed on every aspect of the game.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Hustle, skill, shooting, definitely. They're struggling here tonight to create anything going forward, even counting the one waved off goal. And they're just sloppy passes as well, left and right here. That one was nice, though. Came off the foot
and then turn it over
Logan
again.
Hoggood. Hoggood might have completed more passes with his foot tonight than with his stick. 2:26 left to go here in the third period.
And now the Dashers, in addition to taking on Port Huron, are taking on the Timex Watch. And Port Huron again, very aggressive.
Oh, a referee takes a big spill there. And the fans
seem to
love it.
enjoy that.
Yeah, they seem to enjoy when that happens. He's getting out of there. He got hit with a body and a puck on that one.
Yeah.
Very, very sloppy here right now from both sides. The Dashers end up with it. Barakov had it for a second.
Turned it over again.
Turned it right over to Matt Stoya, who carries it in. He throws one across to the right side. It's picked off by Alex Palmerville. Now Gullo coming through. Gullo's got Slade to his right. Instead shoots one onto Paulin. The rebound quickly covered up there by Matt Stoya.
Gordichuk about halfway out of his net, but told to stay put. Now he's coming to the
Gullo
bench.
is being manhandled in front of the net. Palmerville on it.
Extra skater out. Empty net for the Dashers.
And now working with an extra man here can be a little bit confusing, and it might come back to bite him. Firing one down. That was Justin Portillo. Wide and behind the net. That one's going to come back for an icing with 1:10 left to go in the third period.
Now they'll get that face-off deep in the offensive end with the extra skater. Gordichuk has made a nice little spot on the bench there. He's got a nice little nest. He's not coming back out.
Doesn't look like it. Do you think he's probably going to stay there for the remainder of this 1:10? Even if they score one, looks like Ray Tremblay is going to use his timeout and draw something up here. This is the time where a young coach really, truly does get tested in these late game situations.
Well, I think a three-pointer from beyond the arc might work here. Oh, wrong sport.
Only if you're Missouri today.
Boy, my Purdue Boilermakers almost made a run on Butler today, but they ran out of time. They were down by 15, and they got it within 4.
Does that make them the third most relevant basketball program in the state?
It's getting tough. It's been a rough season. They beat 5th-ranked Virginia, totally outplaying them, and then they went and laid an egg against Nebraska. So it's been a weird season for my Boilermakers.
Carson Edwards still on the Boilermakers. He's gone,
with
right?
the Boston Celtics.
That's what I thought. That's going to be a big couple of shoes to fill there. Not literally, but on that team.
Yeah, he was
a joy to
Mr.
watch.
All everything last year for the Boilermakers.
Now, I don't mean this as an insult. He's kind of like Cassius Winston light in the fact that he plays the same kind of game, really good player, but didn't quite get as much recognition. This one's going to come dangerously close down the other end of the ice. It was on its side. It could have gone either way. Instead, it's going to be icing here.
And once again, that puck sort of had a mind of its own. Was heading for that empty net, and then all of a sudden took a hard left turn for the icing. Minute 3 left here in the third period. Dashers need to cash in real quick right off this faceoff.
Yeah, they do. They're going to have to work fast. 5-3 here.
Good
Bukal,
job.
Palmerville shot from the point. Rebound, nobody home.
Oh, Slade had a shot, but just eluded him.
That one's tied up behind the back of the net. It comes back out for Danville. They've still got an empty net. An extra man, Bukal from this point, and swallowed up nicely. Chris Paulin. Man, he's turned out to have a real heck of a night so far tonight. About with 45 seconds left to go. I don't want to jinx him too hard.
Oh, jinx away. Home team needs some help. Dashers coming really close to cash it in there. Put a lot of pressure on the net. Also, great job winning that tough faceoff.
They got another one. Bukal from the point over to Palmerville. Palmerville a shot. That one's in the back of the net. Drew a couple of arm raises from the crowd. On the side here, a shot goes behind. We're frozen up. Looks like we're going to have a face-off to the left of Paulin. I don't know if we lost sight of the puck. The goal came off its stand.
Yep, 35 seconds.
That was my second guess.
And we need a better signal for that from the referees. We'll have to invent one.
Think they would give us that kind of authority? I would feel like a powerful man if I could create my own hockey calls.
I wouldn't trust us.
You know, if they did, we could make a rule like every game starts off with a shootout, you know? I don't know if you heard, but that actually happened last year in Carolina.
Oh.
It was a very intriguing rule that went gone very quickly. Won by Danville. This one poked down, though.
Good aggressive play by Port Huron.
Matt Robertson throws it down.
That will.
Oh, high. 25 seconds left to go here. 3-5. Danville going to have to work fast. Palmerville on it now. Throws it down to Slade. Over to Hine. Hine's got space. Oh, he didn't take the puck with him. Bukal on it now. Bukal from the point. Redirected up and into the glass. 10 seconds left to go here. Port Huron content to tie this one up along the boards. Looks like they're going to run this one out.
And this
it comes back out to the point, but it's going to tip all the way down. Would be an icing, but it's waved off, and time runs out anyway, so it wouldn't have mattered too much. Chris Paulin with a heck of a game tonight. Did let in 3 goals, but you could argue could have let in a lot more, and one of those probably wasn't entirely his fault. So tough game here tonight for the Dashers, a tough homestand. And on autograph night, now they get to come up here and sign autographs.
Last night, the Dashers outplayed Port Huron, but came up empty in overtime. Tonight, Port Huron came out and totally outplayed the Dashers and get the sweep. So maybe Port Huron's secret to success was showing up in different uniforms with different numbers to confuse the Danville Dashers.
And the tactic worked. Fairfield Inn getting their money's worth of the sponsorship. I don't know if they expected this when they came up with that deal. If we ever make it down to Port Huron, we're going to have to check out the Fairfield Inn. I know that's where all the teams stay.
Might have to check them out on Facebook and just let them know that they got a lot of free publicity.
We might have to. And Port Huron sweeps the weekend. I mean, Danville still gets a point out of it, but Port Huron, that's a huge win for them, Dennis, in this race for second and third place.
You got to defend your home ice here in the Federal Prospects Hockey League because the road trips can be tough. And the boys just did not protect their home ice this weekend. Played a great game last night. Tonight, just didn't seem quite on their game. Passes were just a little bit behind. The puck was also taking some weird, funny hops tonight.
Yeah, two very tough games. Danville not playing their best, but also not playing their worst couple of games, two hard-fought games. And Danville not the only home team to lose tonight, as every home team in the league lost tonight.
Wow.
The Delaware Thunder 5-3 over Columbus on the road there. Columbus taking the loss, like I said. Carolina beating Mentor, a tight game there in Mentor, 2-1. Carolina takes the W. 4-3. Danbury hat tricks over Watertown as they win their 11th straight. And Elmira winning 5-1 up in Battle Creek. Port Huron obviously here, 5-3 over the Dashers. Alex Palmerville picking up the third star. We'll get the word on the rest of the stars here. It's Matt Robertson getting the second star with 3 assists, and Matt Graham, the 4-pointer on the night, had a heck of a game all over the ice. 2 goals, 2 assists. Matt Graham is your first star on the night.
They got a lot of effort out of their Mats tonight. No doubt about it, but I know Coach isn't going to be happy with this performance tonight. A little bit of a lackluster performance by the home team.
Yeah, it was here on the Saturday night game of Danville Dashers against Port Huron Prowlers. They dropped the weekend series. They still got a point out of it, and we'll see if that comes into play later down the series. We don't go by points in the Federal Prospects Hockey League. I was about to call it its old name there. Force a habit after a while, but we don't go by points. We go by win percentage. So in the long run, you'd rather come out of here with at least 1 win, especially the way last night went, losing that on a late power play goal on the hooking call.
Only thing the Dashers ended up winning tonight was the fights.
Yeah.
Levi Armstrong, 2-0 in fighting tonight.
He definitely was that. Well, heading into next weekend, we're going to have a game. I do believe New Year's Eve is our next game here at the David S. Palmer Arena. Actually, I take that back. No, it is. We're on the road next weekend against the Columbus River Dragons, Friday, December 27th and Saturday, December 28th. Ahead of being at home on Sunday, or on the road again on Sunday, so a 3-game road trip in Columbus. I'm all sorts of messed up tonight, Dennis, before our New Year's Eve game here at home. And then after that, we have one more game that weekend at home, and then one on the road. And after that, you've completely lost me.
I think we get champagne during the broadcast on the 31st. I believe that's the way that works.
I think that's a rule.
I think it's a union rule.
It's
for
set
us
in stone.
broadcasters,
Yeah, I'm definitely a member of whatever union that is. Well, it was 2 good games here tonight. Not exactly the result the Danville Dashers were looking for, especially coming into a battle for second and third place. We'll take a look at the standings really quickly before we go and wish you a happy holidays, a Merry Christmas. In the Eastern Division, it's Danbury on top now. They've won 11 straight. Watertown lost one in overtime tonight. They're in second, followed by Elmira, Mentor, and Delaware. That is a very, very tight race. Only 1 point separating basically basically the second, third, and fourth teams.
Wow.
Delaware, the clear bottom team there with just 12 points. Naturally, we go by win percentage, but sometimes it's easier just to go by points. It tells you a lot about the team. And in the Western, obviously, Carolina already, they're on track to equal or better their already record-breaking season from last year, as crazy as that sounds, with Port Huron behind them now in second with 2 games in hand on Danville, who are behind them in third. Columbus a little bit farther down than that, and then Battle Creek at the bottom. We don't really need to touch on that too much.
Carolina's only loss coming the same night they couldn't hang their championship banner from last year. So other than that, they're perfect.
That was a very, very, very fun story. I enjoyed watching that happen. Not just because that's something you only see at this level and it's quite entertaining to watch, but regardless, we want to wish you a Merry Christmas, a Happy New Year, Happy Hanukkah, Merry Kwanzaa, Happy Festivus. Happy Festival of Trees, whatever you want to celebrate, whatever you want to call it. Happy holidays to you, yours, and those maybe even you don't like at all. Well, we're going to be back here in just a few weeks. Thanks for joining us here on the Danville Dashers Broadcast Network. Nate Williamson here with my cohort, Mr. Dennis Michelson. We will see you guys in a few weeks. Have a good holiday season.